Reed v. Reed, 404 U.S. 71, 1971, was a landmark case decided by the United States Supreme Court in which the court struck down a state law that treated men and women differently. This case was one of the first in which the Supreme Court applied the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment to strike down a state law that treated men and women differently. The case arose from a dispute between Sally Reed and Cecil Reed, the divorced parents of a child who had died. Under Idaho law, when a child died without a will, the father was given preference as the administrator of the child's estate if he was alive. However, if the father was deceased, the court would appoint the mother. Sally Reed, the mother of the deceased child, argued that this law was discriminatory and violated the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution because it treated men and women differently. The Supreme Court agreed with Reed, in an 8-1 decision. Justice Brennan, writing for the majority, stated that Idaho's law was discriminatory and unjustified. The court held that the law violated the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment because it treated men and women differently without any rational basis for doing so. Reed v. Reed was a significant case because it marked the first time the Supreme Court had struck down a state law that treated men and women differently under the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. This case set a precedent for future cases and was an important step in the advancement of gender equality in the United States. The decision in Reed v. Reed was a significant victory for the feminist movement and women's rights. It helped to pave the way for future cases that challenge discriminatory laws, such as the landmark case of Roe v. Wade, 1973, which established the right to privacy and access to legal abortion. Craig v. Boren, 1976, which held that gender-based distinctions must be examined under the intermediate standard of scrutiny. Reed v. Reed continues to be a significant case in American legal history because it was one of the first cases where the Supreme Court applied the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment to strike down a state law that treated men and women differently, and established the precedent for future gender discrimination cases. This case solidified the idea that the laws should not discriminate based on gender, and it was a step forward in the advancement of gender equality in the United States.